We've been following the Supreme Court decision on abortion.
President Biden says the decision breaks with precedent, and he is exploring all options to protect abortion rights.
And for more on this, let's bring in Admiral Rachel Levine. She is the Assistant Secretary for Health with the Department of Health and Human Services. Admiral Levine, welcome. Thank you for being with us. First off, can you tell us what is the reaction of the Department of Health and Services to today's Supreme Court ruling?
Well, thank you for that question. You know, it is truly a sad day for our country, as the president highlighted. And the decision today is dangerous. Abortion is a basic and essential part of health care, and the health and lives of women in our country are now at risk. So at the president's direction and under our secretary's leadership, Secretary Becerra, we will double down to protect abortion access consistent with the law. And we do stand unwavering in our commitment to ensure that every American has access to and the ability to make decisions about their own health care.
Admiral, are there any steps really that the Department of Health and Human Services can take to protect abortion access specifically?
Well, the president and the attorney general made clear that the administration will defend a woman's right to travel from her home to a state that does allow abortion. And in addition, the president said that under the secretary's leadership, we will protect women's access to medications that are approved by the Food and Drug Administration, like contraception and mifepristone, which the FDA approved over 20 years ago, that are used to safely end early pregnancy up to 10 weeks.
And Admiral Levine, as you know, 13 states have trigger laws in place which either outlaw abortion the moment Roe v. Wade was overturned or does so within the next 30 days. So what sorts of health issues is your department concerned with that these states could start encountering very quickly?
Well, you know, as you've pointed out, for a number of states, this will be implemented immediately. We are concerned that women who want to have an abortion might use unsafe methods to an abortion because they cannot access it safely and legally in their state, and they might not have the ability to travel to another state. That can lead to many complications. We're also worried that that women who have tubal pregnancies or are having partial miscarriages might not be able to obtain all of the care they need, all the standard of care, obstetrics and gynecology care they need because of these state actions. So we will do everything we can to protect women's rights in the United States according to the law.
I wanted to speak on something that's tangential to this. The Biden administration is, as you all know, taking steps to expand rights for transgender people, including expanded access to gender-affirming treatments. Can you tell us more about the president's plans, and do you fear that today's Supreme Court decision could lead to rollbacks of rights for transgender people? And, you know, there are a lot of other places that people are now also saying that this could have an impact.
Well, we are concerned with the basis behind the Supreme Court decision in terms of the right to privacy. And Justice Thomas specifically referenced today in his opinion that this could put at risk the right to marry who you love or make other decisions around your own health care. So we do have concerns about that. I was with the president last week when he signed his executive order for protections for the LGBTQI+ community, especially for vulnerable transgender youth and gender diverse youth, and for us to work to protect their rights in the face of state actions and laws which are putting their rights at risk, and the right to access evidence-based gender-affirming care.
And finally, Admiral, the WHO, as you know, is considering declaring monkeypox an international emergency. How concerned is your department with monkeypox, and what's being done to control its spread in the U.S.?
Well, the monkeypox outbreak is a priority. And at HHS and through the CDC, we have launched a rapid and comprehensive response to it. We do have medical tools at our disposal to treat and detect monkeypox. We have tests that the CDC has begun shipping earlier this week to the top 5 commercial labs in the United States. We have vaccines, but we need to support healthcare providers so that they can detect monkeypox and they can give treatments and vaccines. Now, there are 155 confirmed cases in the United States, and this is a concern. But it's important to remember that most people who are infected with monkeypox recover fully, even sometimes without the need for specific treatments. And the cases we've seen so far have not been severe. So we want to take it very seriously, but this is not COVID-19, and it does not have that size and scope.
Admiral Rachel Levine, we thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you very much.